What is going on, everybody? Hey, welcome back to another episode number 7 of another sports talk podcast. We got me, we got co-host John Firestarter Breaks. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing awesome. How about yourself, brother?
Doing
What's up,
well, man.
Larkin?
Doing well. Walking, how are you doing? I hope all is well. Um, you know, continue our some of our conversation, that were having and everything, with the coaching carousel. One thing I wanted to ask you, though, I thought about this on I was at a Knights of Columbus meeting beforehand, and when I was driving, I was thinking about things to talk about and everything. So we have 6 coaches in the NFL that got fired. One during the season, and Brian Gable. um, four on Black Monday, and then we had a Black Tuesday for one more and Jim Harbaugh. So out of the coaches that got fired, what's up, John? How are you? Um, did any one of those surprise you?
I think the Harbaugh probably was the only one, and
Yeah,
maybe Kingsbury, but I kind of saw that coming. But I
what's up,
really thought
Maddie?
they'd give him a second, at least one more year. I mean, you have the first year you did really good. Second year, okay, you dealt with a lot of injuries. Let's give him one more year, see how he does. Then if he doesn't, but I think he himself, I think, was looking for a head coach, not what he's doing. What's up, Maddie? Sean?
Yeah, I think the Harbaugh one, because I think it's one that um I mean, again, there was no there was no, let's say, like leaning towards it, right? You really didn't hear about it. I mean, there was a little bit of rumblings towards the end, but there was nothing, like concrete or anything like that from that standpoint. Um, but it's interesting from a standpoint of is, yet the Jets and the Colts, they keep their coaches. Now, as a Jets fan, so as someone who might be a fan of football, I would look at it and go, you know what? Why does that guy get a chance? I mean, the team didn't even play well. The only, it's the when you think about something, there's 2 reasons why they don't have the first pick. One was a trick play halfback pass to a tight end against Cleveland. That
Yep.
was a bad throw, and the guy made it going. And then the second one was 2 special teams touchdowns within like 2 or 3 minutes of each other. Those 2 things right there you know, uh, cause that to go ahead, and miss out on the first pick. Now, does that matter? No, because the organization as a whole has shown you nothing that they can go ahead and keep a first round pick for many, many years. What's up, Dami?
Dom, what's up,
How you
brother?
doing? So from it's frustrating. So from someone who, if I was not a Jets fan, I would not be able to understand why they didn't fire the coach. But as a Jets fan, I understand, because if you took the 4 sports, if you took hockey, basketball, baseball, and football, and you ranked all of the owners, Woody Johnson is got to be top 3 in the worst out of all of them together. He's a horrible owner. I could see that maybe he would want to go ahead and give him another chance, because hey, might as well. Why? I don't know. But from that standpoint. But so that one is surprising me that it didn't happen. Um, from that standpoint. Pete Carroll, I mean, I was surprised by that hire in the beginning.
Yeah.
Nothing against Pete Carroll. I just, but I mean, you know,
Why?
I can understand if he was, I mean, I can understand if he was, doing a lot better. He did good in Seattle. He didn't do great. He did good in Seattle, stuff like that. I don't know. That one, so the hire to begin with was odd to me. The firing makes sense. Be honest with you. when I saw that Arizona fired their coach, I was like, "Oh, that's the name of the head coach there?" I had no idea who was the head coach of Arizona, you know? The other ones, Stefanski surprised me, but then not really if you look people go and they go, "Kevin Stefanski, he's a two-time NFL coach of the year." Yeah, but all the other years, ah,
Yeah.
you know? So, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what happened. Jim Harbaugh, from what they said, it's interesting. A report came out that within 45 minutes of his firing being announced, 7 teams
Yeah.
reached out to him, which
And
is
it's all
interesting.
is that all the 7 teams that need a head coach?
No, there's only 6.
Well, maybe there's one more coming.
And you have to count Baltimore.
Yeah.
So you got the Raiders, the Cardinals, the Giants. No, there's 5. You have the Raiders, the Cardinals, the Giants, Cleveland, and Atlanta. So you have those 5, and then you have Harbaugh, I think is 6. So you have those guys. So they said 7 teams reached out. So there's 5. I'm trying and Arizona, right? Because you have Raiders, Arizona,
Yeah.
Cleveland, Atlanta. Yeah, and the Giants. Yeah.
Logan
7
says
count,
7.
yeah. 7 counting the Ravens. So who the hell which ones are we missing?
Did New Orleans drop their coach too, didn't they?
No.
Well, that's what NFL.
So 7 count. There are 7 counting the Ravens, but when they made the announcement that 7 teams had reached out to him, so that means the 6 that needed him, at least you would think, and then one other one. Who could that one other one have been? Crazy.
Okay. So let's see. We did say the Falcons. We got that one.
Yeah. So Falcons, Arizona.
Yeah, Jonathan Gannon's demise.
Right. The Raiders.
Let's see.
The Giants.
We got Falcons, Browns, Raiders, Arizona.
Hello, Kenneth.
Titans.
Titans. There you go. That's the other one.
Yeah.
There. So 7 teams reached out to him and stuff like that, but nobody could, you can't just hire him even if you want him, because the NFL has the Rooney Rule. So you have to interview, a certain number of people and a certain, demographic of people, which, to go ahead and do that, which I think it's crazy. If you like a guy, you should be able to hire the guy. This should not matter. If I as the owner think that guy is the best fit for my team, I should and he blows me away in the interview and everything like that, based off of certain things that I'm supposed to do, I shouldn't have to go ahead and basically potentially lose him to somebody else.
And
right?
over USA Today is saying the top 3 teams for Harbaugh are the Giants, the Falcons, and Arizona.
So
I could possibly see the Giants. I could. He stays on the East Coast. He doesn't have to really move that far.
Yeah.
I think the Giants out of those 3 teams have the best chance of actually doing something.
Giants have the best chance of competing for sure. Atlanta, Atlanta has the running back. Both of them have the running back. They both have the wide receiver. I mean, you could say right now, that our Giants have the better quarterback over Atlanta.
Well,
yeah.
Falcons still have Penix, right?
They do have Penix, but he tore his ACL, so
okay.
He's out for probably I would think at least half of next year. You would think if you were him. So here's the interesting thought. you've just gone through what you've gone through in the NFC North, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, AFC North. Typically, a very tough division. Would you go to the NFC East
Another very tough division.
or would you go to the NFC South?
It's true.
So,
And
yeah,
Cardinals are what? NFC West?
they're the West.
Yes,
So you're going to go to the West. You're going to have to go up against the Niners, the Saints, and the Rams.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just thinking about, that to me, that would be a selfish way of thinking. But if you're thinking, hey, man, I want to be able to make the playoffs. I want to, you would think the South, if Atlanta offers him, and if you think, hey, you know what? I don't think the parts and pieces are that. I mean, Drake London, Malik Neighbors. That's pretty even. Bijan Robinson, Scatterboo. I would lean toward Robinson than I would Scatterboo. Quarterback is the one thing, right? You have a young quarterback that going to be there for a while. Come to Atlanta, you have Kirk Cousins, who what you get, a stable quarterback and everything, and you could draft a young quarterback if you think you need one. So, I mean, from that standpoint, you wonder. Now, you never know. It may be the almighty dollar that ultimately decides,
I mean, if I had to pick, I mean, I could see him wanting to go to the Giants for a competing team. However, you go to the South, that's an easier division, more or less.
I mean, the thing is this. He has his choice. He literally is going. I mean, you have to think, that each team is at least going to go ahead and talk to him and make a pitch as to why they should come, right? So, I mean, each team would be foolish now, for to at least not talk to him and get an idea. So it's going to be interesting.
My question here is the other one. You have teams that don't need head coaches but need offensive coordinators. Does he possibly take one of those type of jobs? Like he doesn't want to coach just due to the fact of the stress. It's kind of a little less stress.
that would be a lot of fun, Locke, and that'd be a lot of fun.
The only way I see the Raiders getting him is just due to they can build a team around a new quarterback and stuff like that. But
yeah, he was more of a special teams coach. But even if you said defensive coach or anything like that, here's the only reason why I would say no is because he's been more successful than a failure.
Right.
Like you look at the guys that go back and be offensive coordinators or defensive coordinators, right? Most of those guys, they were a year, 2 years, and they lost, like they didn't have a winning record. You know what I'm saying? Or they had one winning record, and 2 or 3 losing seasons. So I don't think he would go ahead and become a coordinator. I think like Lawkins said, I could see him I would think that if he doesn't want to get back on the field, look, he'll definitely go to TV. He can do well, go to Fox, ESPN, go to any, go to one of those places, and get a studio job and stuff like that. So he wouldn't even necessarily have to. He could fly fly in from Baltimore to wherever he needs to go and stuff like that. So, I could see that kind of thing. I just think, to me, I don't know. To me, he's a type where I can't see. To me, he's more like Andy Reid. Like, I'm not taking any time off. I'm going to another team. From that standpoint.
Yeah.
Talent-wise, when you look at it from top to bottom, I think Atlanta and the Giants are probably the 2 closest ones.
Yeah, and then if it comes down to those two, it's going to be a money deal.
Because they both have pretty good defensive players. I'm not saying they have great defenses across the board, but they do have, some good parts and pieces that you could build off of.
Right.
So I don't know. It's very, very interesting. Very interesting. But check this out. I don't know if you heard this revelation, if you want to call it, or the amazing announcement, if you want to call it along those lines, that came out of the NFL today. But 83-year-old Dallas Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones has said his goal is to retire with the most Super Bowl wins.
Better get a better team.
He's
I mean,
83 and he's won 3. Now I don't know if that means all of Dallas winning the most as a whole, or if that means just
if it's
Jerry
Dallas as a whole, then
Jones's
he has
Dallas.
a shot. But if it's just during his tenure,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. That was
But
yeah.
you got to have goals,
You do.
no matter how
Yeah,
far-fetched they might be.
Yeah, I mean, actually, Super Bowls, we got 3. How many more for a single owner? So Robert Kraft has 6. So he thinks somehow a disappointing team, and something that he could somehow win 4 more. He would like to win 4 more Super Bowls in his lifetime before
At 87, if he was actually able to start this year, but
before he retires, and he's 83. Like if he was 53, you go, hey,
maybe.
I could think you got a shot. You could probably win 4 in 30 years if you retire at 83.
You're 83, you're going to have maybe 1.
If you're lucky, you get 1.
You'll be 90 and you'll be like sitting at 4, like, I still got 3 more in me. I'm in the hospital, but it's okay.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy and everything, you know.
Luck with that.
I thought that was kind of kind of funny when I was like, what? You gotta be kidding me, man. Russell Wilson said he's still gonna play. He wants to come back and he wants to keep playing, even though didn't work out with the Giants.
I think the Raiders are looking for a quarterback.
I mean, I guess from a Russell,
he's a half decent backup.
I was going to say, from a perspective, if he was smart, he would just be one of those guys goes say, hey, you know what? I'll go back up. I don't know. I don't need any more money, right? It's not about the money. I've already made money. You know what? Hey, New England, you got Drake May. I don't need to start. You want to, I'll take whatever. I'll take a couple $1 million to be the backup quarterback. Or, you know what I'm saying? I mean, so at that point, and then if, they don't want you after a year, you go someplace else. But you could probably go and make another, $20-30 million, if not more, just by going ahead and, wearing an earpiece, listening to what's going on. And maybe you got to play if a guy gets hurt.
Like I guess he'd be a good fit, and I'm not saying he's going to go there, but like the Raiders as a backup, they pick a rookie quarterback. He could mentor that quarterback.
Yes,
he'd be good for that.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. I mean, I think it would be a good move. I think if you're him and you're saying, hey, I want to go be the starter somewhere, I think that's difficult. I don't know if you could do that, but you could go to you can go to Miami. Miami, gets a young quarterback. You go to Miami. There's worse places, there's worse places to live than having to spend, winters in Miami on the beach there.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers just played. He can go another 10 years as a backup. I mean, and do whatever you need to, do and everything, and just, collect money and keep going there. So that one, I'm not surprised by it. I guess it'll all be depend on what his thought process is. If he's going talking to the Raiders and saying, hey, you could trade that first pick and you can use me as I'll be your starting quarterback. And no, thank you.
Yeah.
From that standpoint. But that's that's something that is interesting. Yeah, look at Flacco, look at Andy Dalton, right? And you know what? Locking Andy Dalton is a great example, right? You do something like that, man. Go to go to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Be the backup for Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, look at our team with Mariota.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been helping, you know, Daniels out a lot. So I mean, you got guys that can do that. They don't need to start.
Yeah. And I think that's what's going to be the key when you look at the Raiders. And one of the things is, with the I know we have the college games coming up, and we have Thursday. Tomorrow night we have Miami, Ole Miss. Should be an interesting game. I think the game everybody's really looking forward to. People that like colleges. The Friday game of Oregon against Indiana. And what's interesting about this game, I don't know if a lot of people really look at it, is that this game combined with NIL will have a direct effect on this coming NFL draft.
Right. Yeah.
100%, because Dante Moore, right now, there's only one real quarterback that is worth drafting, honestly, probably in the first 2 rounds, maybe 3 rounds, and that is Mendoza. Now, there are going to be a lot of people that are going to say Mendoza isn't even worth it. He hasn't done, he hasn't, faced competition, all these reasons why and everything. But we all know that when it comes to the NFL, all that crap goes right out the window.
Yep.
If you're the best quarterback in college football, you're going to go in the first round. You may not go 1, you may go a little bit further, but if you're considered that if you're that good of a quarterback, if you're that good of a prospect, you're going to go. So Friday night, Dante Moore, the other quarterback, who people are saying those two are 1 and 2, Mendoza and Moore are 1 and 2. So people are saying, that if Dante Moore does not play well, why would he go ahead and come out? Why would he declare?
Yeah, because you're probably going to drop pretty far in the draft.
Well, he might. I still think that I still think the Jets would take him at 2, which scares me. Not about the Jet. It scares me more for him, because I don't know if the Jets would be smart enough to get, let's say, a Joe Flacco or an Andy Dalton, or maybe I don't know if a Mariota would be available, or if Jimmy Garoppolo, if Jimmy Garoppolo would be available to go ahead and come in and be that guy for a Dante Moore. I'm not saying he's not going to drop off from one game. What I'm saying is that Mendoza plays really good. Moore doesn't play really good. The chances of Moore being the number 1 pick going to the Raiders goes down. And if he doesn't want to play for the New York Jets because of NIL, he does not have to come out because of money. He signs that contract for $5-6 million, and he goes back and he plays. Now, it doesn't mean that in 2027 he doesn't get drafted by the Jets. That's not the point. But the point is that NIL and this game could have a direct effect on the NFL draft. If Dante Moore declares, no matter how he plays, he doesn't get past number 2. I'm telling you, he doesn't get past number 2. He goes either 1 or he goes 2.
If you pick up Moore, would you mind having Russell Wilson as your backup for him to kind of mentor him?
No, and the only reason why I say that is I don't think Russell would do that type of thing. To me, Mariota has shown that. Jimmy G has shown that up to a certain point. What's his name? Andy Dalton has shown that. I haven't seen that from or heard about that from Russell Wilson. Getting hurt is the thing you'd have to be the biggest concern about. I don't think you have to worry about him dropping, to the middle rounds. Beck, when Beck The first year that Beck was eligible to come out, he was considered a top prospect. From that standpoint. So, Beck, you know, and I mean, you're not wrong in what you're saying. I'm talking hypothetical. When I'm not talking X's and O's and all kind of stuff. All I'm saying is from that standpoint, NIL has changed. Guys can go ahead and guys can decide to go ahead and say, hey, you know what? You know, it's all, I don't want to play for this team, or I don't want to play here. I can go back. I'll take my chances. It's a gamble anyway. I mean, yes, I know the money's going to be very different, right? But NFL contract, if you get slotted at number 2, what are you getting? 40 million, 50 million ish? Probably get maybe 5 million at college. Yes. That is a very big delta. But the truth of the matter is this: the money for NFL quarterbacks is not the first contract. It's getting to the second contract. Because think about it. Did you think Tua Tagovailoa was worth guaranteed $100 million?
No.
Did he show you anything to be worth that kind of money? So it doesn't matter if you're a drafted quarterback and you're halfway decent and your team wants to take a shot at you, they will go ahead and getting that second contract is where where the money is. He's going to be a bust either way. So is the Bama quarterback that is coming out anyway.
Ty Simpson, yeah, he's the third one that's in there.
I mean, what's the proof that that's going to happen? There's no proof that's going to happen. I mean, I don't know, what quarterback that was supposed to be a bust is doing well. Brock Purdy, everybody, did people think that Mr. Irrelevant was going to go ahead and sign a contract for $140 million? Yeah. I would think probably not. I bet you there were not a lot of people when they heard, and the San Francisco 49ers with Mr. Irrelevant picked Brock Purdy, that people go, someday that dude's going to sign for $145 million. Yeah, if you had that on your bingo card, good for you.
Yeah. So let's see. This guy over on ESPN, he just redid his picks. Jordan Reed. He's given Mendoza to the Raiders.
Yep.
You guys are getting Dante Moore.
Yep.
Arizona's going to take a guard, Francis Magui, Goa, out of Miami.
Yep.
Arvell Reese will go to Tennessee.
Yes.
Carnell Tate out of Ohio
Giants.
Giants.
Yep.
Jordan Tyson, wide receiver to Cleveland.
Yep.
They're saying we're going to take David Bailey. I think we take the other one. Jeremiah Love to the Saints. Yeah. Kansas City, Ruben
Bain. Yeah. Pretty exactly. So that's the thing. That's the thing. So that's another reason why it might behoove more to go back to college, to get 11, 12 more starts underneath his belt. There was some guy they were talking about it, and they said the thing you have to look at with college quarterbacks that are successful, and do me a favor, nobody put the name Tom Brady in the chat. He's an anomaly. I don't want to hear it. What they've done, and they looked and they said more college football quarterbacks have a better chance if they start at least 30 games in college versus less than that. Jackass.
Don't say just say not do something. I'm gonna do it.
I know people are gonna go, oh, look at Tom Brady and everything. But when you look at it, guys that have started more games just tend to be a little better. Not saying that is the rule, but if you just look at it, Purdy's a great example. the Mannings. I mean, it's you can say whatever you want to say, but it is the truth. Some happens right away, some it doesn't. Look, Sam Darnold, same type of thing, right? He started a lot of games, but it took him a little bit. So it's not a science or anything, but they say one of those things is that, got the more guys play in college, the better chance they have. There are
What about the
anomalies at every
one?
single position.
I think is he the Chargers quarterback or the Rams quarterback?
Who?
I can't think of his name now.
Rams are Stafford, and the Chargers are Herbert.
Herbert, yeah. What like was how was he? I mean, he was one of those big picks back in the day too.
Oh yeah, no, Justin Herbert was. Um, let's see, depth chart. Herbert. Uh Stats. National Football League. NCAA. Justin Herbert, 4 years at Oregon, threw for 10,000 yards. So, I mean, there's a guy who went ahead and, he played 4 years worth of football.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just saying I was listening. There was, a round table going. There was a bunch of guys, playing everything, and there was an argument between a couple guys going ahead and saying, that more should go back, and people going, "You're stupid. That's ridiculous." He's gonna go ahead, and not, the points Larkin made. Hey, he could play bad. He could get hurt, so on and so forth. But they are saying that the guys that stay in college a little bit longer, that get more starts underneath their belt, they have a better chance of being successful.
I agree.
I don't know that. I'm just,
I think that makes sense.
saying, what some people have said and stuff. I mean, look at Trey Lance, right?
Yeah.
They played that one game in 2020 just so he could go ahead and play, and stuff like that to get whatever it might be. I mean, so it just, it's interesting stuff. Football playoffs, I think this week. We talked about it last night. I tell you, I think the only game that, in my opinion, that really could get out of hand is Rams against the Panthers. But I think everything else, I mean, should be good games. There should be good games.
There should be, yeah.
This coming weekend and stuff. I think I don't know. I just, I think it's going to be interesting. The matchups are interesting. Some of these games are so close, I just hope that the referees don't affect the game in a negative way. That's the only thing that I want. Just, if
They
it's
need to
pass
call it,
interference,
right?
call it pass interference. If it's not pass interference, don't call it. You know what I'm saying? Don't cause a team the game. Look, hey, you gotta wish, you gotta hope something.
I mean, I kind of think we all know that the way the NFL's going, it's fixed somehow. I know it's technically not, but if you look at games, it just feels that way.
It does. It does.
It's like Vegas has something to do with the NFL. Like, all right, this is what we want to win, so we can make money. You'll make money. Boom, boom, boom. It's ridiculous. But I agree with you, Locke, and why the wide receivers are going that high when Bain and Downs are as good as they are. I'd like to see us get Downs over Bain, but
well, from what most people say, that the top three players are Downs, Bain, and Reese. Definitely on at least on the defensive side.
Yeah.
There are people are saying that Reese is probably the number one prospect out of this draft.
Yeah.
The guy with the stuff like but look,
be interesting to watch.
As Herm Edwards said, that's why we play the games.
This is true.
You know, anything could happen.
Now let's bring back Archie Manning. That's coming up here, like possibly
Arch
Arch.
Manning.
Do you think it's a possibility he might declare himself?
I don't think so. I can't see it. To me it does, to me personally, it would not make a lot of sense for him to come out right now. You know, again, you know, and for me personally, you know, I could see him in a way, and you know, and I think players look. I think any player that would tell you it doesn't matter to them would be lying through their damn teeth. But there isn't one player who would not want to be the overall number one draft pick. And I think Arch probably wouldn't get there. Again, it wouldn't. I mean, he didn't play that. He didn't play that well this year. You know, so I think he needs to go back and probably, you know, try and establish himself more. But if he did, in my opinion, it's still the same type of a thing where NIL he could look, and where his uncle Eli, they had to play that whole game with the Chargers and the Giants, right? He could go ahead and basically, you know, not, you know, do that without doing that by, you know, by NIL. That's why I think, you know, I think NIL. I know these. We can say all we want about the whole thing of, well, if you go back, you get hurt, and my gosh, and blah 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 blah. Um, I think it's also people, guys are going to look, and guys who have the option to go back, in my opinion, will look at the draft and go, crap. You know, if I'm going to go to a bad team, I don't want to go to that team. That team, you know, really, you know, that team really doesn't know how to. They haven't had one good quarterback in that whole organization. I don't want to go there. I just think it's something that can go ahead. They can have. I think he would, since the Raiders, they would take him name. Yeah, I think, you know, with Jim Harbaugh being out there, if they were to sign Harbaugh, do you think there'd be a possibility that they would call up the Ravens? Say, hey, is Lamar available?
Right.
Texas does have more money than anybody. Yeah, they got that oil money.
So looking at ESPN on December 15th, in a text message to ESPN's Dave Wilson on Monday night, Arch's dad, Cooper Manning, said Arch is playing football at Texas next year.
Right.
So he's definitely not coming out this year.
Right.
Which makes sense. I mean, you don't want to come out of there with only 1 year of play. I mean, you get crushed in the NFL.
I understand that Lamar is the problem in Baltimore.
Yes.
But we know how the Raiders, how in the Davis bloodline, whether it be this one or Daddy Al, names mean a lot to them.
Yeah.
And if I could get Jim Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson,
might be a good thing.
You know, that they would look at. You know what I'm saying? As much as you said the Raiders would take Arch Manning because of the name, you could see the same thing. Now, I don't think so.
The Raiders could always bring back Carr.
They could, but I don't think so. And I tell you that the thing. Oh, I thought Lamar said he liked Harbaugh, but you could be 100% correct. The thing that I think Tom Brady, a partial owner of the Raiders, I think he looks at Fernando Mendoza and sees a 6'5", you know, kid that can move around better than him.
I was gonna say,
But
is Mendoza mobile quarterback? That's a big thing, I'm sure.
right, I think Tom Brady will go ahead and have have that kind of effect. I think it would be it would be interesting. Yeah, they are very similar. And I'm not that doesn't mean that Mendoza's going to win 7 Super Bowls, but physically wise, their mechanics, the way all that kind of stuff, I think they're very similar from that standpoint.
And I think
Break
the Allen family will lean on Tom for that kind of a decision.
All right, breaking news. Breaking news.
Tom Brady's coming back.
The Atlanta Hawks are trading four-time All-Star Trey Young to the Washington Wizards for CJ McCallum and Corey Crispert.
Whoever they are, I have no clue. I don't watch basketball.
Just announced, hot off the presses, breaking news.
Is he a good player, and are they good players? That's the question.
CJ McCallum's he's towards the end of a contract. Trey Young has been out and everything. Trey Young is a smaller guard. Good, he could score, halfway decent, but yeah, the young goes ahead and he'll put up numbers, but he's not winning a whole lot.
Gotcha.
But breaking news, that was just announced.
Well, then that would make sense for a Washington team to pick up somebody like that.
Right.
We don't want winners.
Because, they got
Oh, here it comes.
they got what, Pete Alonso's a bum?
Or the other guy's an asshole. One or the other. Which one is it? Or both.
Pete Alonso is a bum.
Well, we're waiting.
Waiting for what?
Now we got our answer.
Yep. Pete Alonso is a bum. Pete Alonso is not a bum, Dom. Okay? David Stearns is a bum.
You're just a little upset that he didn't sign with your Mets. I didn't get that way when Soto left. I was upset that he left, yes.
But he didn't even have the opportunity to re-sign with the Mets.
This is true.
Because when Baltimore offered him the contract, from what I have read, he went to them and said, "Hey, I got a contract from Baltimore." They did not turn around and offer him anything.
Counter offer. So
what we're going to do is we're going to substitute 38 and 120 something RBIs for a guy who hit 20 something home runs and had probably 90 RBIs, which that's okay, but a guy who has played one game in his entire career at first base. That's your new starting first baseman.
Yep.
Not the guy who has been a first baseman his entire life, even in Little League, in college, everything, minors, all the way. But no, we are going to go ahead and we're going to sign a guy who has played one official game at first base.
Yeah, good enough.
And if you look at the stats, it might have been one of those ones where he got credit for it because he played it must have been 3 fly balls to the outfield because he doesn't even have a put out or an assist. but he was there. The Cubs made a trade today.
Oh, did they?
They did. They got Edwin Cabrera.
Oh yeah.
From the Miami Marlins, and they traded Owen Cassie, one of their top prospects, which is very interesting. Being that they're letting very nice pickup for the Marlins or for the Cubs. Larkin, which one? The Owen Massey is a really nice, in my opinion, that's a really nice pickup. I'm sorry, Owen Cassie for Miami. Cubbies get a good one too. Edwin Cabrera, you take him, you put him with Jamison Talion. Have they? Yeah, I think that, this is one of those ones where potentially, both are doing well. The only problem about Cabrera is he has, had a bunch of injuries and everything. Um, so it's gonna be. They have Steele. They did sign Amaga. I didn't hear where they re-signed him. So you got Steele, you got Amaga, you got Jamison Talion. They still do have Matthew Boyd. They got Cade Horton. Uh,
And each froze.
my back.
You're back.
Uh, you know, Cubs. They're in the National League Central. So that will go ahead and that'll be a benefit to them also. National League Central is not a super hard division. You add another pitcher. I don't know what they're going to do from an outfield perspective. They're losing Tucker. That's what I thought. A guy like Cassie might have gone ahead and taken that spot from Tucker. So it'll be interesting to see how they fill in their outfield. I mean,
I'm looking at this free agency from ESPN. I guess the Dodgers are hovering in the market, waiting for either Tucker or Bichette to fall for a short-term deal with them with a higher average annual value.
Yep.
So that would be interesting if they picked up Bo or Tucker there.
Cardinals are rebuilding. Yeah. Cardinals are going to rebuild. I mean, they traded Contreras, right? Yeah, they traded Contreras to Boston. I'm not sure what kind of haul they got back. I don't know if they got a lot back. Yes, so that's what a lot of, one of those things right there, people are saying, that, what before, like during the season, there was a lot of talk. Oh man, Tucker, he's a 10-year, 400 million. That's what's going to be 10-year, 400 million. And he got hurt last year. And I think that went ahead and that hurt him from getting that type of deal. I like Kyle Tucker. I think Kyle Tucker is a good baseball player. You have the potential. He has that 30 home run, that 30. He does have 30-30 potential with a decent average. But the last two seasons, 78 games in 2024, 136 games in 2025. Okay, so are those injuries that are starting to, is that what you're expecting now and everything? That's hard. He's also he's 28, but he's going to be 20, he'll be 29 this month. So, you're going to sign a guy that long for a 10-year contract. You're going to pay another guy until he's, in his late 30s. The back end of that deal is going to suck.
Yeah.
So that's good. But so that's what a lot of people are saying. Okay, if you're Kyle Tucker, you're not really getting any. Nobody's biting on the big dollars, right? Yep, that's the other big thing.
Well, here's an interesting thing. There's a rumor that the Mets could sign the $88 million Chicago White Sox outfielder Lou Bob. I wonder what Dom's thoughts are on that.
Well, that's an interesting one. So the interesting thing about Lou Bob is he has 1 year left, and it's a club option for $20 million. So now the guy's an incredible. He got to be healthy, but the guy is a really good center fielder. He has power, and he could run also. He's another guy who, if he's healthy, and I guess he has to be motivated. Now, I don't know how motivated. Again, I look at it different. I'm an old school type of guy and say, hey, you're getting paid money to go out there. No one should be able to look at you and see how your team is playing based off of your effort. Your effort should be the same every single game, no matter what. So I think a little different. But there are people who are going, you know what? he was, disenfranchised. He didn't give a crap and everything like that. And that's why the last 2 years, he's been trash. Um, from that standpoint, I don't know how. Yeah, he only has he has a $20 million option left. 1 year, 20 million. So he would cost next to nothing because you're not going to go ahead and give up a lot for a guy who only has 1 year left. So I personally, I would like it because if you're not getting Bellinger, um, or you're not getting Tucker, I would rather have Lou Bob as my starting center fielder than Tyron Taylor. From there.
It looks like, I guess, the Blue Jays are really pursuing Tucker.
So
Well,
from what I have heard to what you said, what I think what they are looking at is a Bregman type deal from last year. Yeah, we'll sign you for 3 years at 120 million. We'll give you 40 million a year, but guess what? You got an opt out after year one.
yeah, I don't think you're going to see Bo back in what do you call it, Toronto.
Well, I haven't heard anything about him going back there.
No, it says the reunion between Bo Bichette appears increasingly unlikely for the Blue Jays. Looks like there is the teams are the Phillies, Yankees, Cubs, Dodgers, Red Sox.
Right.
Him.
And the thing that is interesting from what I've heard, see, the other thing is Bo's not like he's not a great fielder.
Right.
But Bo is not a great fielder. So right there, that kind of hurts you a little bit if you're not if you're not a good fielder,
right,
and you're a shortstop. Those things don't usually work out that well. No. There was talk about the Mets going ahead and looking at him with the potential of him going ahead and playing third base for the Mets. If he goes to the Dodgers, I would think it's got to be as a third baseman for Max Muncy, because you're not going to start him at short over Mookie.
Right.
Unless you put him at second, but that Oh Song Yi Kim, whoever that was, they supposedly, they're really high on him. They'd like to get him more at bats. So I would think Bo is a DH, and a third baseman.
So looking at what happened today, nothing big. Baltimore's designated right fielder Noel for assignment.
Yep.
What the hell is that team? He's like Tampa Bay. Picked up Josh Walker. Yeah, the Cubs trade where Owen Casey, Christian Hernandez, and Eduardo De Leon went to Marlins for Cabrera. Tampa Bay claimed shortstop Tae-Sung Cheng to waivers from the Pirates. Ryan Roslin off the waivers went to the Cubs. Wade Meckler to the Angels. Claimed outfielder Marco Luciano, Baltimore did, from Pittsburgh. Rockies claimed Keegan Thompson from the Reds. And the Reds sent pitcher Leon Richardson outright to Louisville Bats. That was it for today.
So what about, the other news that came out? The U.S. Patent and Trademark Office has denied the A's request to trademark the names Las Vegas Athletics and Vegas Athletics.
I had a feeling that was coming.
They say the patent and Trademark Office says that the nickname Athletics was too generic and could be confused with other activities, even if associated with Las Vegas. Are you kidding me?
Well, then how did Oakland get it?
They were the Philadelphia Athletics.
That's why, okay.
And weren't they the Kansas City Athletics? Yeah, they were the Philadelphia Athletics. They were the Kansas City Athletics. and then they moved to Oakland in '68. They were Oakland Athletics. Who goes ahead and what do you mean they're going to confuse them with other things because athletics are too generic? I mean, that's
Yeah.
freaking
Well, I wonder
ridiculous.
what they'll name them then if that got denied, unless they're going to try to figure something out. But I mean, what the hell would you call them?
Yeah, but the Patent and Trademark Office last year, um, they denied the NHL Utah's team. They wanted to use the nickname Yetis, and they went ahead and said nope, it would confuse people too much with Yeti coolers. So they went. So when they moved from Utah to Phoenix, I'm sorry, when they moved from Phoenix to Utah, they are the Mammoth. They are the Utah Mammoth.
Well, that confuses me with the actual mammoth.
Right.
You
So
have to
that's
say
not
something,
confusing. Maybe because they're extinct.
maybe.
You
But
know.
like, they go back to the athletics. Like, it's going to be interesting to see what name they come up with. The Las
Well, I
Vegas
mean,
Gamblers.
yeah. Well, they got something. They got so it says right here that the club is going to move in 2028. They have 3 months from now to ask for an extension to file a new application within a 6 month period. To your point, what could you go ahead and go with?
Oh,
I mean, like what, are you gonna? I mean, do they take the name of the hockey team, the Vegas Knights? Is that not going to be confusing? I mean,
that would confuse you.
you know, do they,
Those oddball minor league team names,
maybe, Snake
Vegas
Eyes,
heads.
Snake Eyes,
Yeah, the box
have
cars.
the box cars, yeah.
The
Ladies
Las
and
Vegas
gentlemen,
Lucky Sevens.
ladies and gentlemen, now batting for the Las Vegas roulette wheels.
I mean, the Las Vegas Lucky Sevens, gamblers.
I don't know, man. Again, that's just one of those things. I mean, really, Patton. I mean, it's like if they were never that name, right?
Could they get that name?
If they were never the Athletics, I could understand. Then you go, well, but they've been. The Philadelphia Athletics began playing in 1901. The A's kept the nickname when they moved to Kansas City in 1955, and they kept the nickname when they moved to Oakland in 1968. So here we are, 125 years
And
later.
you can't have it.
Now it's confusing.
Well, they could now. They could possibly. I don't know if they could be the Las Vegas Expos.
That'd be funny. Dude, that would be fun. I mean, could you imagine that?
I'm just saying the team that's no longer there. So I mean, they have a lot of expo centers out there. So hey, I don't know any other teams that aren't around that you could use.
I don't know. I just find, this is another one of those things that just it
That's
makes
just
you
stupid.
it makes you shake your head and go, really?
What?
Like did you
It
guys
took
have a
you,
meet? Did you guys have a meeting on this?
and it took you 125 years to figure out it's going to confuse people.
After 125 years, you're like, yeah, people. I mean, has society become that dumb
Well,
that somebody's going to go Las Vegas Athletics?
do they mean
What do
athletes?
they what do they what do you mean athletics? So was that all wow, they have all different sports in Vegas? Why is that like what are you confusing them with? I just don't understand.
Why don't you just get rid of the athletics part and just call yourself the A's? Nothing else, just the A's.
Yeah. I mean, at least from that standpoint, you know, I mean, it would be when you look at the history of that organization. I know, good and bad, but I mean, you have to wipe that name out. To me, it sucks enough when championship teams have to move.
Right.
It was like when the Islanders were potentially leaving to Kansas City, and you're like, okay, what do they do with you can't call them the Kansas City Islanders.
That doesn't make sense.
So what do you do with the 4 Stanley Cup banners?
Yeah.
But then I guess you could say the same thing like Oklahoma and Seattle, right?
Yeah.
Seattle moves and they rebrand themselves as the Oklahoma City Thunder. But I mean, they were bought by people there, so they physically move and everything. So I don't know.
Well, you got the same with Baltimore and Cleveland when they moved. When Cleveland
Yeah.
moved to Baltimore, I mean,
Yep. Yeah, Utah Jazz kept their name. I
that's
mean,
a
how is
confusing
that?
name.
How is that not generic? How was the Lakers?
Not generic.
Not generic and everything. So
The Phoenix Suns. Seriously, how
yeah.
much more Suns? How much more do you get? It just
Excuse me.
whoever was doing that day at the patent office probably was drinking.
Just having a bad day.
It's like a guy at PSA.
It could be an Oakland. I mean, maybe the guy was an Oakland A's fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Who owns the
bastard,
A's?
bastard, denied.
Who owns the A's?
I know a guy that Oakland hates now.
Maybe he greased the fingers,
Well, there are people that are wondering what the hell happened.
That just does not make sense that just now you're deciding that.
John Fisher is the owner of the owner. They're building a $2 billion 33-seat capacity stadium on the Las Vegas Strip is under construction. Club officials told the Las Vegas Stadium Authority on December 4th that the ballpark is on schedule to open in time for the 2028 season.
Okay, now I'm going to ask this. I'm sure you probably read that a little wrong, but you said a 33-seat stadium. That would make sense.
33,000. Sorry.
There's 33 people about all going to attend, but
33 of that. So I mean, think about a $2 billion stadium that seats 33,000 people.
I think it'd seat more than that.
They will.
I think they'll end up getting it.
I mean, more than likely, they're going to go ahead and say, hey, come on. I mean, here we are. It's been 125 years. You can't go ahead and you can't, I mean, you can't let us go ahead and not use the name.
They're building a $2 billion. My Commanders are building a $3.7 billion.
Yeah, but football's going to fit how many people are going to fit in that stadium? 80,000?
Good question.
65,000? 65, 60?
65,000.
Yeah, 65,000 people. Plus, they're going to have probably one big ass ring of suites.
I know there's like all sorts of stuff going in there. I know that.
Well, that's what they're doing now. They're not building just a stadium. From what everybody has said, that all kinds of stadiums have looked at what the baseball team from Georgia did with the Battery, and that has become a lot of the thing that they are trying to focus on. Have the restaurants, the other draws to go to that place. There are apartments. Now the apartments are expensive as all hell. I think a buddy of mine, he had looked there, and I think a 1-bedroom apartment was like $1,900. And it's not like you're talking about
No, it's probably like an apartment in New York City.
Yeah, it's not. It's nothing special. And the truth is, I mean, it's not like there's a lot of other stuff that you could walk to other than the restaurants and stuff that are at the Battery. There's
But
not,
it's kind of cool to have your apartment at the stadium.
Oh, most definitely.
You're never missing a game.
No, never missing a game. And then out in the outfield, if you get a chance to catch a game, I mean, you have I think it's not NCR, but like that companies have that have built their out in the outfield have built buildings and stuff like that where you can see part of the game just from if you're sitting by the window in one of the offices.
Yeah.
You know, listen to it on TV, radio, and watch from that standpoint. But it's just like Mets. One of the biggest things Steve Cohen has been trying to do has been trying to get the land next to Citi Field to build a casino, and he finally got approval. And he's going to build a casino there. Now I'm surprised. I thought it had to be on I thought they were only doing those and not necessarily certain areas, but I thought there were certain requirements. But I guess right next to the baseball stadium, they'll have a casino.
Well, you think if the Mets lose, you're really depressed. Hey, go spend your money over there.
Yeah, keep rolling the dice.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's going to keep rolling craps.
This is true. Let's see what else we got.
Don Mattingly got hired by the Phillies.
Oh boy,
that happened a couple days ago. He's the bench coach for the Phillies.
Wow. Yeah, I saw that lock and that he got DFA'd. Noel Johansky Noel.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But baseball's in that tough point right now. Hey, Anthony, what's going on, man?
If you're able to, you can hop on, brother.
I hope Bible study went well. Baseball is in that. Well, the other thing you got to realize, you knew Bo wasn't going back when the Jays signed Akamoto.
Yeah.
So
if they're really pursuing Tucker, then they're going to spend the money on Tucker than they are Bo.
Yep. So you got to figure there's four from a fielding perspective. You got Bo, you got Bregman, you have Bo, you got Bregman, you got Tucker, and you got Bellinger. Pitching, you don't have much. You have Framber Valdez, and I'm not sure what else you have out there. That guys that were like, oh my gosh, Zach Gallen, I guess, is another one who's up there. But a lot of people think, that, with Bo and Bregman being infielders, whichever one of those signs first, the other one will follow pretty quick. They're probably, because they'll probably set that market. Like if you're going to say, hey, you know what, we're going to do, I don't know, like we'll do 3 years, 90 million, right? I don't think either one of those guys, like if you offer that to a Bregman, I don't know if you'll offer more to Bo. So I think they're saying the same thing. I think the same thing about Tucker and Bellinger, even though, Bellinger overall is probably the better player. They're probably in the same thing. They're probably looking, what I heard from a Bellinger standpoint, the Yankees are the only one who has really offered, I think they've offered a 4-year deal or a 5-year deal. I can't remember which one, but I don't think the AVV is high. But I think that, I think it's there. But I think, Tucker is gonna bet on himself. I think Boros is. I think he's a Boros client. I'm not sure, but if he isn't,
Bellinger?
No, Tucker. Yeah, we just went ahead and we announced it. Breaking news, Anthony, you missed it.
No, it's Casey Close.
Okay. But I could see him, as you said before, I could see him doing one of those, hey, I'll do 3 years, 120 million, 40 million a year with a buyout with a opt-out after each year. I think what he will do is I think he would take a chance on himself. And if he plays well, he'll go back in the free agent market, kind of like what Bregman's doing, and take a chance that at 30 years old, someone will give him a really good deal.
Do you
Wow,
see
so it's been ready. Football stadium's gonna go there. Oh wow, didn't know that.
Kyle Tucker is asking $400 million?
Yeah, he wanted 10 years for 400. I think is what he thought he was what he was trying to get.
6 years. 400
6
million.
years, 400.
400 million, 6 years is what he'd like to have.
Oh, he's out of his freaking mind.
See, yeah, I was gonna say he's not now. The Dodgers.
That's Juan Soto money.
Yeah.
That's more than Juan Soto because if you doubled his contract, it'd be 12 years, 800 million. That's three more. That's more than Soto would have gotten. Yeah,
Yeah.
he ain't no way in hell he ain't getting that money. He's going to do one of those low. He's going to do one of those high AVVs with opt outs.
That's why I think you see the Dodgers are interested to wait to have him once he figures out he's not going to get that 400 million. Okay, well, we'll offer you 50 million or 100 million for 3 years with opt outs.
Take 30 million, 40 million for this year. Win a World Series.
Yep.
Potentially be in the best position to win a World Series. If you win, you play well, you opt out. Good for you. Maybe you can get a 5-year deal, 6-year deal. You know, Bregman, I don't know what could be going on with Bregman because I don't really see. I mean, at his age, I think he's 31 or 32. I don't really see him getting a super long-term deal. I'm not exactly sure, what made him go ahead and walk away from the Red Sox when he could have opted in and still got paid. I think it was $40 million next year, unless he thinks, hey, that I only had 2 years left in Boston. I'm looking for a longer deal. I mean, you can look for a 4-year deal if you're Alex Bregman. I don't think you're getting 4 at 160. I don't think people are paying you $40 million a year.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't see it.
Let's see, what is this? So Cody Bellinger wants 30 million a year. 6-year deal for 30 million a year. So he's
Yeah, and
trying to do 180 million.
I think the Yankees I think the Yankees offered him a 4-year deal. I don't know what the dollar figure was, but there is talk that the Yankees might go to 5, but if they go to 5, it'll be, it won't be what he want. Like if he wanted 5 for 150, getting 30 million a year, I think the Yankees, from what from what I read, was that the Yankees would not be at 30 million. They might go 5, but it's going to be less than 30 million. Which, I mean, if Cody Bellinger doesn't get $30 million a year, I mean, how's he going to live?
Right.
He only gets 25 million. I mean, how's he going to live?
Might not.
You know what I mean? I mean, taking $5 million away from the poor guy.
Yeah, can't live on that. Let's see.
That's tough. That's tough, man. Yeah, but in 2025, Bregman signed the 3 years, 120 million. So it looked like it was 40 million a year, but he had the opt out after the first year. And the interesting part is that you're Alex Bregman. You sign 40 million for 3 years, 40 million a year. And for some reason, you play 114 games, 18 home runs, 62 RBIs, and you go, you know what? I'm 32 years. I'm going to be 32 in March. I'm opting out. I'm not going to take another 40 million next year because I can get more. You not like you had a good year.
Right.
I mean,
I guess
even his last year in Houston, 26 home runs, 75 RBIs, 260 average. You did that, and you got $40 million. 40 million. And you hit 1862 and you batted 273, and you're like, yeah, you know what? I'm worth more than 40 million. I just don't understand. I know Anthony. I mean, he's going to be having, what's the expense of ramen noodles? Maybe he goes that way. Maybe rather than ramen, the only advantage he has, he can have regular spaghetti. That's when that when he opted out based off of his year, especially only playing 114 games, that surprised me. I
yeah,
didn't think he would have opted out, but it just goes to show you, man, it's more about ego than it is anything else. You got an ego of I'm going to be able to go ahead and I can make a lot more. I can make a lot more. If you're a club out there, what are you offering a 32-year-old, you know, third baseman? How
yeah,
many years? How many years are you going to go? Are you going to go 4 years?
probably not.
So the only thing I can think of, I wonder if a bunch of these guys who opted out, the only thing I question would be, did some of them do that because of the potential lockout, and they figure, hey, let me go ahead and get some. Let me go ahead and get a bunch of money.
That could be. I guess there's rumors that the Yankees have made a second offer to Bellinger, but there's been nothing set in stone, I guess.
I mean, Bregman also, he was a 969 fielding percentage. I mean, that's not great.
And are these guys worth? I mean, is Bellinger worth 180 million over 6 years? Is Bellinger worth, or not Bellinger, but Bregman worth the money he's asking for? I just don't. I mean, they're saying Bo could be looking at a 4-year deal for 210 million. It's just ridiculous.
Well, yes, I will say that is ridiculous. But here's the thing to realize: Bo Bichette's 27 years old,
True.
right? So you sign him to 4 years. He's only 31 at the end of the deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, out of those four players, he's the youngest because he's 27. He'll be 28 in March. Tucker turns 30 in January. Bellinger's 30, or so he'll be 31 this year, and Bregman will be 32. So you have basically 28, 30, 31, and 32 that you're looking to go ahead and sign in. From an age perspective, Bo looks more like, okay, I don't mind giving him 4 years. Now, he's hurt though. Same type of thing. He was a little hurt, I think. Problem you have is this. That's the key right there, Larkin.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people are saying. Bo, you're not gonna play shortstop. You're not that good. Okay? Not saying that you're bad, but you're not that good at shortstop. I mean, he had a 972 fielding percentage this year. Last year, he had 971. Year before that, he had 980. I mean, he was a guy who was a starting shortstop who had a 957 fielding percentage.
Damn.
957. I mean, what this year? Dude hit 311, 18 home runs, 94 RBIs. Yeah, it's great. He's the worst rated shortstop in the league. Offensively, he has good numbers: an 840 OPS, 94 RBIs, 18 home runs, 311 batting average. He puts the bat on the ball. He doesn't, typically strike out a ton. I mean, he had less than 100 strikeouts last year. But you know, he yeah, 9.957 is not a good fielding percentage. You know. You know what I'm saying? From that standpoint.
Yeah, I just
You know,
these guys
I,
aren't worth money. I'm sorry, not that kind of money.
well, of course not.
Even my
They,
boy Soto is definitely not worth what he got.
no, he's not. I guess, but what you I guess when you have to look at it though, the point you have to take a step back from is when we say they're not worth that money. There's two different aspects of it. One is looking at it at the field, on the field, and then there's off the field. People say that, Otani is not worth the money that he is getting paid for that contract, but supposedly in merchandise and all the other kind of stuff, the Dodgers did $1 billion last
Oh
year.
yeah,
So is he worth it?
it's how you look at it.
You know what I mean?
The only game I know walking is it's going to be raining Sunday in Philly.
It will be.
Yeah, that's what they're saying right now. But you know how weather is. I mean, Chicago, I don't know. New England, I don't know. New England will probably have snow flurries or something. Who knows?
All right, hold on here. So,
Oh, here we go.
so for Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's see, where are we? They don't have a 10-day forecast. That sucks, you piece of crap. Daily forecast. So for Charlotte, North Carolina, right now, the prediction is Saturday, right? Charlotte plays on Saturday.
I think so.
No, they play Friday. So Friday night, 17% chance of weather. Saturday is a lot bigger chance of weather. For Friday in Chicago, Friday night in Chicago, oof,
Is it Friday night?
49%, 40 Friday. Yeah, the Bears play Friday night. No, I'm sorry, Saturday night. Saturday
Yeah.
night, 94% chance, rain, snow, colder periods of snow and rain with little or no accumulation. It will be breezy. So there's
Yeah.
going to be
Northwest
rain.
winds.
There's a 70% chance rain in Charlotte. There's a 94% chance of precipitation in Chicago. In Jacksonville, Florida, nobody really cares. Jacksonville on Sunday, sunny and 68. In Philadelphia on Sunday, right now, Sunday, they're saying 47%, cloudy morning, breezy intervals, sunshine in the afternoon.
Does Philly play Saturday or Sunday?
Philly plays on Sunday.
Okay, so they're getting their rain Saturday. I thought it was Saturday.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had 51 degrees with 12-mile-an-hour winds.
Foxborough, according to AccuWeather, on Sunday, occasional morning rain and drizzle, otherwise cloudy, 60% chance, 44 degrees.
No, they're
with a
not gonna
low
have.
of 28. So that could affect, the Chargers. They may not like that.
It could be.
And then for Monday night football, 10% chance, a little bit of clouds, mostly sun, 42 degrees, low of 30. Going to be a night that so
That's in
Sunday
Pittsburgh,
night.
right?
What?
Monday night's Pittsburgh game.
Yeah. So it's probably the high is 42. It ain't going to be 42 at 8 o'clock at night.
Not in Pittsburgh.
The high in New England is 44 for the day. They play at 8 o'clock. It ain't going to be 44 degrees there.
No. I mean, it's not going to matter for the Steelers, but because Texans are just going to romp them. But it is what it is. I love you, Anthony, though. Just saying.
But Charlotte, they play Saturday, and right now Saturday, cloudy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, windy and remaining warm. Thunderstorms can bring hail and damaging wind.
Now that would be an interesting for the game.
Yeah.
Some hail.
70 degrees, 47 is the low, but thunderstorms that could bring hail. So rain more than likely. I mean, weather, that I don't think it would, when you look at the schedule, even with some rain in Philadelphia, that's San Francisco and Philly, and they can rely on the run.
Yeah.
Like they don't have to pass, but you go to, like the Chargers, they're gonna have to pass the ball.
Yeah.
If there's bad weather, that could affect that. And then don't forget, their quarterback had a broken hand.
Yeah. The
Herbert
Panthers are playing the Bills, right?
Excuse me?
Bills are playing the Panthers?
No, Bills are playing Jacksonville. The
Who's
Rams
playing?
are playing the Panthers.
See, there's another team, that rain isn't going to really change anything there.
It shouldn't because they
They're
pass
both
a lot
rainier.
anyway. So they're more of a passing offense. So it's going to be, it'll be interesting. But the it's interesting that the line on the odds on the Rams Carolina game is the Rams are minus 10.5.
Damn.
That's a lot for a playoff game.
Yeah.
That is definitely a lot for a playoff game.
Let's go to DraftKings, see what they're saying. Yeah, Rams 10.5. Packers are minus 1.5.
Who?
Packers.
The Packers are minus. So the Packers are the favorite
Yeah.
going into Chicago.
Yeah. I don't see how that is, but hey.
Wow.
Buffalo is the favorite by 1.5 going into Jacksonville.
That's two road teams that are favorites so far.
Here's a home team. Philly's got a 4.5 point favorite over the 49ers, which I think that's a little exaggerated, but okay.
That's a lot of points. I mean, if I was a betting man, the 49ers plus 4.5, that's okay.
Patriots are 3.5 favorite. And your other road team that is a favorite is the Texans by 3.
What does DraftKings have the Rams Carolina game at?
Rams 10.5 point favorites. It's interesting.
That's wow. Think 10.5. 10.5. That's a 2-score game.
Yep.
They don't even think that much of Carolina.
No, because looking at the quarter and first quarter money line / full-time money line, Rams and Carolina Panthers plus 1,500. The LA Rams and the tie is plus 4,000. Damn.
But it just goes to show you that they don't give a crap that what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That 6 weeks ago, Rams went to Carolina and lost.
Yeah. And if you look at the alternate spread, whatever that is, I don't know because I don't do sports betting. The Rams are actually 11.5 point favorites. Packers move up to 2.5. Bills stay at the 1.5. Eagles move up to 5.5. They stay the same. The Patriots game stays the same. The Steelers game changes to 2.5. So whatever those alternating is, but that 10.5 for the Rams, wow.
And what's interesting about the Rams when you look at their record, all 5 of their losses are one-score games.
See, if I was a sports betting, I'd still bet on the Panthers because that's a hell of a win if you bet $100.
10.5.
Yeah,
You're getting 10.5 points. I mean, in a playoff game, that typically is unheard of, isn't it?
I haven't seen one quite that high, but especially for those two teams, I mean, how do they figure that? I'm going to know how they figure that stuff out.
It's got to be it really truly. I mean, it's just got to be, in my opinion, number one, the 8-9 record. Number two is just got to be like the experience versus the youth type thing.
That's true.
Because to me, that's the only thing that makes that, in my opinion, it's the only thing that
And
makes
that
any
kind of
sense.
would make sense with the Eagles game because you have Purdy, who's a younger quarterback, versus Hurts, who's a more seasoned quarterback. I can understand the 4.5, but I still think the 49ers are going to knock them out in the first round.
A lot of points.
So,
I mean, it really is a lot. That's a lot of points to go ahead and give up and stuff.
yeah.
For a playoff game.
I mean, it'll probably change as it comes along, but probably ain't going to change much. Might go down to 9.5.
It was funny when they asked Jim Harbaugh about John. Jim Harbaugh said, "John is the best coach I know. I hope he ends up in the NFC."
Oh man, that's not right. But I have a feeling he might end up in the Giants if he wants to be on a team, a possibly winning team.
Oh yeah, yeah. The history. The Giants have a history too.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. They had speaking of Jim Harbaugh, they had a stat the other day. Do you know that in his professional football career, Jim Harbaugh has more rushing yards than Bo Jackson?
I did not know that.
Now, Bo's were more impressive,
Yes.
but Jim Harbaugh has 5 more rushing yards, career rushing yards than Bo Jackson.
See,
I know
Bo
I know I know there's a big difference in the number of years Jim played versus Bo.
just needed one more game. He would have been fine.
Yeah, Bo one more game, yeah. Or
bring him back for one more game.
Just finished, or if he doesn't get hurt that one game, he goes ahead and he winds up, beating them, getting more. Michael Lorenzen signs with the Colorado Rockies, a 1-year deal worth $8 million. 34 years old. He could pitch. He could be starter. He could play the bullpen.
And who is he?
And he goes ahead and he has played the outfield.
And I have no idea who he is.
Michael Lorenzen was with Cincinnati, was with Kansas City.
I'll go in and play the outfield for $8 million for a year. Shit.
I wouldn't even need to get that much.
No, me either.
I'll be
He's
the
solid.
I'll be the 26th man on the bench.
I know, right? You can give me league minimum, I'd be all right.
Yeah, Lorenzen is a solid guy. Yeah, I mean that's it. From a
So
transactional period, that's about it.
yeah,
When we announced the big trade in basketball, which
talk football.
which is not a big deal for you. Hockey, my New York Islanders beat the snot out of the New Jersey Devils 9-0. That was beautiful.
I just gotta look. So we're fourth. We're not doing terrible.
Who?
Like the Capitals.
No, you got Ovi.
I think this is gonna be his last year.
I mean, everything would tend to lean that way. I mean, I don't know what other
What other records he's trying to break? I mean,
kind of milestone he could be going for, like where he could what do you call
said
it?
just to maybe make that goal scored just a little bit higher so nobody else could catch it, but eventually somebody will.
Well, I mean, he's at 914. So let's see. NHL all-time goal scorers. So active players. So now Ovechkin is number one. He's played 1,534 games.
Damn.
Right? He's at 914. The next active player, Sidney Crosby, has played 1,393 games. So basically 140 less. Sydney is 649 goals.
I don't think in 100 games you're going to score, 300 and some.
The next active player is Steve Stamkos at 600, and he's played 1,200 games. Malkin for Pittsburgh, 522. Then you have Tavares at 509. The one guy that I would think could have some potential. Where the hell is he on this list? Maybe not. Perry, Patrick Kane. Where the hell is Oh wow. Connor McDavid is not on this list. Connor McDavid does not have 400 goals. He has 389 goals in 755 games. So there's a guy, if he's at 400, even if he stayed on the same, trajectory and he played the same games as Ovi, he'd have 800. He'd still be close. He'd still be 100 short.
Yeah.
But you want to know what's really crazy? What is really absolutely, when you talk about the greatest, of all time and stuff like that, do you know that if you took Wayne Gretzky and you took all the goals that he scored, which was 894, and you took all of those away, all of them, he would still have more points than any other player in NHL history. He has 1,963 assists.
Damn.
Jaromir Jagr uh, you know, who ranks in points in number 2 is at 1921. So even if you took all his goals away, he would still have more points than the guy who's in second place.
How many does Ovi have?
1,659 points.
Maybe that's what he's going for. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, no way. He's 10th. I mean, he's 10th and he's 1,200 points behind.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he's going to play till he's 60 and be
Look,
scoring.
look, if the Dallas Cowboys owner can do what he's doing, so can Ovi. Right?
Right.
He might be in a wheelchair or on a walker, but he'll still be out there.
That is a fair point.
That's interesting. So let's see.
Crazy.
Now we've hit all those. Do we talk a little wrestling? Not like there's much going on. Besides that, Randy Orton came back.
Yeah, Obafemi went ahead and relinquished the title last night.
I did not watch that.
Monday Night Raw.
Was a bore.
For being, yeah,
1 year anniversary.
being the 1 year anniversary was what's the best word to use?
The word you used with me?
Yeah, underwhelming.
I would have expected some more surprises than we got. Really didn't get much.
Yeah, I mean, I did not expect Jericho.
No, I didn't either. Because I think they'll hold him out for the Royal Rumble.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that gets me, dude. Here's the crazy part. So now, are you telling me that it's the Vision against CM Punk and 3 luchadors?
That's kind of what it sounds like.
Right, because at the end of the show, right? Penta, Dragon Lee, and Rey Mysterio come out to help CM Punk.
Yeah, I didn't. Really? I mean, I kind of understood, but I don't understand it because because there have been all sorts of rumors like that Seth Rollins was backstage there Monday night.
No, he was. They said he was. They said he wasn't. And he was he was at Gorilla most of the night.
So I mean, I think if you would have had like when Braun was they were like getting ready to do that jump off the corner. If you just played his music, even if he didn't come out, just playing his music would have made it interesting. But it is what it is. That match was terrible. A lot of missed hits, a lot of blunders. I mean, CM Punk carried Braun.
Well, every single match had a certain amount of botches in it, which, I mean, quite honestly, I'm okay with that. I mean, I don't think we can expect, the perfection and everything. One thing that I can't believe is though that in the Becky Maxine match, Maxine didn't even like attempt to kick out.
Yeah.
It was like it was nothing.
Yeah.
She was like laying there. It almost looked like she was laying out there looking up at the screen over there. Oh shit, look at that. 1, 2, 3. Wow. Oh, okay. Like no kick out, no try, no nothing or anything. So
I mean, are they putting the belt back on Becky so AJ can take it off her later?
Everything. So I was listening to some of the wrestling experts. The guys who that are also part of the IWC, and a lot of them are saying, oh well, they did this so they can set something up for Becky, AJ, for WrestleMania. And it's like, wait a minute, AJ's in the ring once. Then she came out that other time, and then she's gone.
Yeah, I've been doing her book tour.
So I see, so I understand that. Yeah, I heard. So I heard Blake and Obafemi are gonna both get called up. That's what I heard.
Yeah,
Izzy
because they
Dean, I think her last name is Dean, but Izzy, I believe, is Braun Breaker's girlfriend.
because we saw what's his name get signed to Raw. That
And
bouncy, bouncy.
and they do that during a commercial.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
I don't. I mean,
Where
I
are they
don't.
going with it?
I I do not like Javon Evans. I think he's I think what he does, the way I think that's all, fine and dandy and everything. But again, I look at that type of a style and I go, okay. 'Cause I don't think I think main event wrestling. I think putting a belt on a guy. I know we talked about it before, and maybe it's my old school thoughts are too much. But this whole thing of, well, guys don't have to hold belts for long and they should bop around and blah, 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 and that's why Rick got 16 and H got 15 and Orton got his and Cena got his because they did everything. It's not like it was when Bruno Sammartino held the title for 7 years, lost it, and then held it for 4 more years,
Yeah,
or Hogan going on his run, which was over 3 years, and Roman doing his over 3 years, and that's not the way it should be anymore, and that's kind of boring and stuff. I mean, I get that part, but kind of like Lockinson, I look at I agree.
he's going
I
to end
don't
up
know.
being a
I
mid
don't know
card at best.
what.
He's going to be mid card at best.
Like, yeah, like I don't know what, like, oh, it's getting bouncy and all. I mean, yes, it's exciting for the fans. Look, that the young kids love it. Everything is quick and fast because that's what it is, right? It's the YouTube short, or the TikTok, or the Instagram reel, length, right? Yeah, things got to be short. Things got to happen quick. Bang, 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 boom, bang, bang, and stuff like that. But I mean, 1 year anniversary, and you have 4 matches.
Yeah,
Now
and
you had three title matches. I'll give them that.
and two of them changed.
Right. But what the frick are you doing with Liv Morgan and Lyra?
I didn't understand that match at all.
The only thing that I could think of is that because Liv's from New Jersey. I mean, in
Figure
reality, that's the only thing. Because why would you try and start something with Liv and now what? So now we're gonna have Liv and Roxanne, or now they're gonna become buddies to go against Bailey and Lyra, while Raquel tries to go after the title off of Stephanie. I
yeah,
don't know.
no.
Nothing he can do that 4 can't do with the whole lot. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, you talk about a wasted talent. This is what I wonder. Like, if you're Montez Ford and you're Angelo Dawkins, they are a very good team. Why would you re-sign when your contract is up? Even if they broke you up as singles, why would you bother re-signing there?
money talks.
I mean, it does, but my goodness gracious, man! I mean, you're not going to go ahead and, you know,
Well, I can see why Ford would want to just maybe stay with his wife. Bianca, I can see that, but Angelo, I don't know.
it doesn't do anything for me. Like I said, I don't understand. Yes, yeah, Ciampa, he went ahead and said, you know what, nah, ain't happening.
That's okay.
He
They weren't doing anything with him anyway, really.
right. So they have this whole DIY push, and now that goes to crap. That's gone.
And what was the point of the Usos coming out and staying in the crowd? That just made no sense.
I guess a commercial break without going to commercial.
True, true.
You're right.
And
And
then
and
you
the
had
thing that
what?
gets me is this: how long are they going to continue to come out to Jay Uso's music?
Music until they come out to their own together like they used to have.
Yeah, that one bothered me.
Who beat him? I forget.
Um, Carmelo.
Yeah. I
That
mean,
that one bothered me because that guy's really good, and you look at how being out as long as he was, he returned. Did you see some of the pictures of what Gable looks like?
no.
Holy crap! Holy smokes! Dude is, I mean, he was in good shape. I mean, he is freaking ripped. Oof, oof.
I think he's probably due back soon, probably.
Yeah,
And then you have what, Randy Orton coming out again at the Miz, was it? I think.
yeah. Why?
Are they going to try something? I mean, I know there's talk of
So two old guys?
that's us. Um,
Yeah, coming back like Jinder Mahal did.
oh yeah, and even Drew McIntyre did the same thing. They were
Yeah,
all little guys,
that,
and they come back like huge.
yeah, that's true.
But I guess there's talk of Randy turning heel and going after Cody's title. I don't know if that'll ever happen or if it's set. I mean,
I don't know. Again, I need someone to tell me
what's going on?
why I need someone to tell me why Randy uh being in the title picture is a good thing. Me personally, I don't understand it.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, he did say he's coming back, coming back to the title.
Yeah, no,
But that could still be a face versus face. I mean, it's happened. They had the Cena and him face and face. So I don't know.
no, like I said, don't get me wrong. I mean, part of me understands it and gets it, but
I mean, are you trying to give Randy number
that
15?
but that's where we are.
Kind of.
We're at a point to where you so what the hell, why are you bringing again, don't get me wrong, I don't think any of the young guys are should be pushed to main event status. I don't think Obafemi should yet. I don't
No.
think Trick Williams should yet. But seriously, Randy Orton against Cody Rhodes?
Well, who else do you have though besides Roman?
That's yeah,
That's kind of it.
that's a really good point.
Because Drew just doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. Yeah, 10 title shots and only holds it for like 5 minutes. I mean, I wish they'd be like let people know. I mean, I know it's part of their story crap, but
Dude, that's Gabe. That's Gable.
damn, he looks like what's his name? Zack Ryder, the way he's built.
Yeah, I mean he is just going crazy and everything.
He tries to come back as Americano. You're gonna know it's him.
Yeah, they haven't. Yeah, you're right. That's why Drew has that many times. They don't. They're not doing anything. They are doing nothing to push it in any way, shape, or form. They put themselves in a freaking corner by doing some of the because number one, a bunch of the other failed things that they tried with Jay Uso, and now I thought the whole plan people thought about was AJ Styles will be his last year, and he's gonna go. You know that Gunther was gonna go ahead and retire him. Well,
That's the way it looks.
but next Monday night,
No, they'll build it up. They'll have that match, and then if AJ will probably either he might win that one just to give him the win, and then Gunther's gonna be pissed. Okay, I want you at WrestleMania in a retirement match or something like that.
yeah, that might be the way. Yeah, that's true. That could be the way it goes.
I mean, I
But
just don't.
but
I'm trying to
again,
think of people that they have that they could use against Cody, and there really isn't anybody. Same with who's the other champion? CM Punk. Who? I mean,
yeah,
who's next? Are they going to keep going with his? Braun Breaker's going to have 10 shots at it. I mean, Breaker did not look that good Monday night at all.
no, no. Again, when you look at these guys and stuff like that, man, you have to step back, and truly look and go, hey, you know what? You know, like SmackDown. I'm looking at the roster right now. If this is the way it is, Aleister Black, Alex Shelley, Angelo Dawkins, Angel, Apollo Crews, Axiom, Berto, Carmelo Hayes, Chris Sabin, Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest, Loomis, Rowan, Elton Prince, Drew McIntyre, Dragonoff, Fatu. Then you have your JC Mateo. They still have Jimmy Uso, but that's not rogue. Joe Gacy, Gargano, Kevin Owens, Kip Wilson, Montez Ford, Nathan Frazier, R-Truth, Orton, Phoenix, Reigns, Zayn. I mean, they have the whole solo crew that they could go ahead and do. Trick Williams is there now. I mean,
And I'm looking at the matches for this Friday night. You have Trick Williams is going to make his debut against Ray Phoenix. You have the Wyatt Six battle the MFTs. And you have the Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre. That's it so far.
That's a special match, isn't it?
Yeah, the 3 stages of hell.
Yeah.
And we all know who's going to win that one.
But think about this, John. You have to put that type of a match on a Friday night on USA Network.
Yeah. That's a match that should be like Extreme Rules or Elimination Chamber type match in there somewhere.
It should be something more. Should be something more than a Friday night. And SmackDown's going to be 3 hours.
Because Cody's going to win that one, I'm sure.
Well, I would think the only way he loses would be that it would have to be a non-title match.
Yeah. Because I think they're in a steel cage at some point, because I think I saw on YouTube somebody posted it, and you see Cody climbing out over the cage and hitting the floor before Drew, which would make sense if that's the one I was watching. But you're not taking the belt off of Cody on a Friday night SmackDown. It's not going to happen. But I'm pretty sure we're going to see a Roman Cody match sometime this year.
USA just split away from NBC. Could get interesting. Oh wow, I didn't realize that they sold. Wow, I didn't realize they did that split. Thanks, Larkin. Yeah, I don't know, but again, what are you gonna do? You bring Roman back, okay. Even if you bring Roman back, then what are you doing from there?
Yeah.
At least on Raw, there is some kind of thought process of Punk, and you have Breaker You know, you could if I mean the whole Chris Jericho thing. Now, personally, I mean, I haven't watched a lot of AEW, but I've seen highlights and everything, and I'm not sure Chris is, you know, I think there's to be a disappointment of people are thinking Y2J, you know, and turning around and you made the list, and I don't think that's what you're gonna get. And
Right.
you have Seth Rollins there, and you could have a Gunther that could move up and potentially go that way. And then you go to Friday Night SmackDown, and you're like, what the hell do you got?
Yeah.
Well, what is this? You know?
I'm looking to
Roman
see.
got rejected by Hollywood, so he wants to come back and get his title back from Cody at Mania. Wow, I didn't realize he got wow. But I could see that. I mean, you know, I don't know how much of an actor he is yet at this point in his career. He probably needs,
He's,
you know, a few more lessons and stuff like that.
yeah. I'm looking to see. It doesn't say anything. It says the people who own USA Versant may not change SmackDown's current home, but it may change things once the contract comes up. Now, I don't know how long that contract is with USA. USA WWE contract. Let's see what they say. How long is it? Oh, that's that wrong one. I don't really say. I don't know.
Well, and honestly, Larkin, I think that yeah, I agree. Um I think the other thing you're looking at, honestly, I think uh TKO is gonna say, look, you know, Roman, we love you, uh, but we are paying you $15 million a year.
You're right, Larkin. It's 2029. They is the contract when it expires.
Romans?
No, sorry, USA and WWE.
Oh,
Roman Reigns contract. Let's take a look real quick. Just says his contract will continue into 2026. Let's see. Doesn't really give much information on it, I guess. $15 million a year.
yeah. Hey, Larkin, good night, buddy. Thanks for hanging. Much appreciated, pal. Have a
Yeah, we
great
go,
day.
brother.
Have a great day tomorrow. Have a good weekend. Enjoy watching games.
So, 39 years old. So his current contract is set to expire after WrestleMania 42. So that's this year. But I'm sure they'll probably sign him. But like, how long? He's 39. How much longer are you going to keep him around? You know you're going to sign Chris Jericho to probably do a 1 year deal so he can retire in WWE.
Yeah.
Gunther will probably take him out too, which is fine with me.
Yeah. I think so. Well, so this is where I think you look at it from a standpoint of is that, you know, I can't see that's what I'm saying. You can understand a Trick Williams, you can understand Obafemi, but in my opinion, you look at what they did with the Shield,
Yeah.
right? They were important in everything and stuff, but you didn't see them right away going for. They didn't come right in
Go for titles.
and go up and go all the way up to the top, right?
They were there, what, 2 or 3 years before they started
Right,
hitting titles?
and that's what I think part of the issue is with some of these guys now. You know, you're gonna like and Obafemi and a Trick Williams, they go to SmackDown. They get elevated artificially because there's nobody freaking there.
Right. Well, I can see Obafemi I can see him being elevated right away because of the match he had with Cody.
True.
But I believe he deserves it. Not a title shot yet. But I could see him having a couple matches with Cody, maybe, or some title on that side. I think they should all start out okay. If you want a title run, we're going to make you USA title or Intercontinental. One of those two to run you with for a little bit, see how you do with it, then bump you up. So I think they did that with Gunther, didn't they? They started him out with the Intercontinental.
Yep.
And then they boosted him to that because he was so good with the Intercontinental, which made sense. And I'm sure he's going to be back in the picture for one of the titles. Probably CM Punk's at one point or whoever has it.
Yeah, and I think, I think when you look at those, see, the thing I get, is, and maybe it's because of the angles that Trick had the last few years or so on NXT.
Maybe.
Oba was at least fighting with the champion and everything. Trick Williams, they made him the TNA champ and stuff like that and everything. It's like, man, what are you doing and shit like that, but again, like, I guess from what I look at from standpoint of is you're taking these guys, like Mello's a good example. Mello, yeah, we thought they, were fucking him over, ruining him, doing shit like that and everything. And now he's a U.S. champion. But Mello is very talented and everything. Supposedly his wife is going to be another call-up. He's married to Kalani Jordan. But to me, I look at some of these guys, Trick Williams, Obafemi. All of a sudden now, you're going to take them from what? If you watch NXT, what do they have? 400 people?
Give or take.
So now what? Are you gonna you're gonna put them on PLEs in front of 40,000 or 18,000 or 20,000 or whatever the number is that fast without some kind of build up and everything, and you're gonna put them in, like for me, I'd be okay seeing Obafemi or Trick Williams at WrestleMania mid card. They shouldn't be in the beginning. They shouldn't be at the end. They should be in the mid. That's where they belong right now. But I don't. But again, you look at it and you don't know. You don't know the big thing. My biggest issue that I have with WWE is you don't know how the strings are being pulled.
Exactly.
They just redid the whole creative thing. Now Triple H is still the head, and then underneath him is Bruce Pritchard. But the guys for Raw, the guys for SmackDown, they've made some changes and shit there. So who knows? We'll see what happens. From that standpoint. But if you're gonna keep me at 4 matches on a weekly show, and you're going to do your 5 match on basically most of your PLEs except for WrestleMania and SummerSlam, because those are 2 nights. And I tell you one thing, I'm very, very happy that when we move and when the package deal that Spectrum is running right now, ESPN Unlimited that app is included in your plan.
Nice.
I won't have to pay $30 for it because I was looking at it and I'm like, you know what? It's getting tough.
Yeah.
Now, I'm okay with it because I'm watching a lot more ESPN now because I paid for it and everything, so I'm watching, some more sports and stuff like that. But from a wrestling fan perspective, I mean, I don't know how you keep. I don't know how it whatever it is, $30, $35 for whatever the number is going. I don't
Yeah.
know what the number is going to be, but I don't know how people are going to continue to pay that price for what you are getting.
Yeah. I agree. I have to agree there.
You know, I mean, and I know they can, and here's the funny thing, right? These first 3 PLEs of the year, they can get away with it because it's elimination chamber, right? Those are longer matches. It's Royal Rumbles. They're longer matches. So you could get away with a 4-match card,
Right.
right? Because all right, WrestleMania 2 days, so you could do, okay. But after you do that, the whole freaking, Clash of the Castle or whatever the crown jewel, all that kind of stuff. Again, you're putting 5 matches on and stuff like that, and now you're gonna be moving them all across the world. Which look, I don't blame TKO for doing that. I go ahead and get it. That's awesome. But from a fan on this side, now I look. People are gonna go, well, what about all the fans in Europe? All they've been having to go through. Guess what? I don't freaking live there. I don't mean to be mean, but I don't care. What I'm saying right now is 100% unadulterated selfishness towards me. I wanted to have a bunch of people over to watch the Royal Rumble. Is a great pay-per-view or PLE to have a whole bunch of people come over and watch.
True.
It's at 1 o'clock in the afternoon this month because it's in Riyadh.
Yep. So you're not having that many people come over.
So I'm not going to have anybody come over. How many people going to come over in the middle of the afternoon for 4 hours?
You might have a couple.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's it's one of those types of situations. You know what I'm saying from that standpoint. So you know, I don't understand. Again, if you're not a sports fan, because you know what, I will watch. You know, I don't know, Middle Tennessee State against Knoxville U basketball because I'm just because I like watching sports. You know what I'm
Right.
saying I'll watch I'll watch college baseball. I'll watch college softball. I'll watch all that kind of stuff because I like watching sports. So from that standpoint, I don't really mind having the package and paying that kind of money. But if I'm a wrestling fan, and that's really all I care about, if I don't care about other live sports, man, I don't know.
I don't see it being worth $35 a month.
The numbers have got to be below what ESPN thought they were going to do.
I would think so.
I mean, I don't know if there's any kind of clauses in the contract to get out or anything like that. I don't know about that kind of stuff, but I would think they may have to go and say, "Hey, guess what? We're going to have to drop this down to the next tier of ESPN Plus." And see if we could go ahead and get more people to buy it at ESPN Plus. If you have Ultimate, you get it anyway, right? Or Unlimited, whatever it's called. But if you get ESPN Plus, we're going to offer it there also. That's the only thing I can think of because I can't see how it's going to continue there. I can't see how I don't know if you saw the other announcement that was made. Was that I guess starting with the PLEs in 2025, they will be hosted as a library on Netflix.
I mean,
So right now, all the other ones are still on Peacock.
yeah, and I'm looking now. They're saying this one website WWTV will cost you $1,000 a year to watch after 2026 ESPN launch, and it is because if you think about it, monthly Peacock, Netflix, ESPN, they add up quick.
Yeah, yeah, and you see what you're getting.
You don't see like they're not seeing anything big as far as like they're saying the ESPN platform received 2.1 million new user signups during the first 30 days. But other than that, I just can't see them. I don't see the Netflix deal really working for them either because the show sucks.
What's what I'm saying? You
You
know,
went from a 3 hour show to a 2.5 hour show. But yet you take SmackDown and make it a 3 hour show, back to a 3 hour show.
well, and not only that, but you also made the statement that Monday Night Raw did not have an end time.
Right.
That there was no time limit on Raw. Raw could end whenever they wanted it to end. You know, where's that banger? Where's that 3 hour Raw? 3 hour and 10-minute Raw? No, it's 2:45. It's 2:29. It's 2:38. Right?
It's been around between ending at 10:30 to 10:45, somewhere in there.
Right. And again, you tried to make this whole big stink, this whole big deal about Monday. Man, it's the 1 year anniversary. And you do that.
They botched that big time, I think.
You know, I mean, the best match was the first match, and there were misses there. You know, I mean, there were misses in the what do you call it? Live Valkyrie one. I mean, hell, during that match, people started cheering Y2J, Y2J, because that's how freaking bored they were at that bullshit.
Yeah.
And the other one, I mean, I understand Maxine Dupree. I guess it's a great story and everything. I'm still waiting for her to have a clean match.
Yeah.
There's still something that goes ahead and they either do something stupid or something and everything like that. And like I said, if you you watch the end of that match, if you could find a video of just that end, she doesn't even try to kick out. She is laying as still could be.
Yeah.
You know,
I didn't understand that. It's like, this is how it's going to end. She's holding the ropes and pinning her, really? Just makes, like I said, and having the matches that they had on there, just that Liv Morgan match they could have put that on just a regular Monday night.
Yeah.
Have bigger matches for things that it's going to be awesome. There's going to be a lot of surprises. There wasn't one surprise.
Nothing. And like I said, at the end, it looks like you're getting the Luchadors and CM Punk
versus the
against
at some point.
You want to see a 6-man tag of Rey Mysterio, Penta, and Dragon Lee against Bronson, Paul, and Theory? Really?
Yeah. All right.
That's what you want to see?
I feel like they've run out of things to come up with. Like they're hurried on it. Let's do this real quick. Let's put this together.
But where is that coming from?
That's coming from the writers.
That's the part of it. Where is it coming from? Where is all this? You know, I understand that, but it's got to be coming from something. There has to be something that is making this happen, because it wasn't like this before TKO took over.
Right.
No matter how much of an asshole the old man was, the degenerate, however, there was, the man still understood the business.
Yes, he did.
And the thing is too many people just thought, well, Triple H, he was there. It was, so he, I mean, he's going to continue. He's going to do what he has to do, and then you sell. And when you sell to, TKO, and everything changed. We can say whatever we want to say, but the truth of the matter is everything changed. It is a different product than it was 18 months ago.
Right.
Again, not, nothing, I mean, it's different. Now, again, we talk about it, we can't believe, blah, 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 this and the other thing, but we still watch because you watch with the hope that something is going to happen, that something good is going to come out of this.
Yeah.
And I unfortunately, I have a hard time believing it. I have a hard time, thinking that it's gonna go ahead and something, something good is gonna change. You know, and I mean, part of it is they don't, part of it is they don't have to. When you think about TKO and WWE, they kind of parallel Fanatics and the hobby.
Yes.
You don't need to do anything good because there's still plenty of people that are going to be willing to pay stupid money for your product. Just the way it is. I mean, you know, it's frustrating, you know. Um, and it's tough when you're a generational fan, right? When you've been,
Right.
or when you've been watching it for so long, and you see what it was like. Because when I first started, it was still that regional stuff, right? I never saw the Minnesota guys, Kurt, the Vern Gagne, and all that kind of stuff. Never saw Ric Flair. Never saw the Von Erichs from taking. You heard about them, but you really never saw them back in the mid '70s when I started watching. It was still regionalized. You
Right.
didn't see that happen until Vince was like, "Ah, screw this shit. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start going all over the place." Right? Then all of a sudden, you start hearing more and seeing a little bit of, Harley Race and Vern Gagne and those guys from there, and the Von Erichs down in Texas, and Ric Flair and those guys, down in the South and stuff, and in Florida with Dusty Rhodes and Kevin Sullivan. You didn't see that, and then all of a sudden, you went as it got more, when it got more popular and more, it got on TV more, and then all of a sudden, TBS had wrestling, and all this other kind of stuff. Then you start to see it more, you know. But now it's just, all right, it are what it are,
Yeah.
and it's not a lot we're going to be able to do with it.
Well, looking at some of the dirt sheets, as I call them, I guess there's a possibility that TKO could be planning a Vince McMahon return as a babyface because they think it would bring money, and I bet you it would.
It
If
would.
you tease that you're bringing and McMahon's going to be back, people are going to go nuts.
Yep. Yeah.
We shall see.
People definitely go nuts. That'll be a split audience.
Yes, it would. But no matter
And
what,
that-
he has to come back with his music. There's no doubt about that.
They better be prepared for that, because that will definitely be a split audience, man. Gonna be a lot of people who are gonna be up in arms if that were to happen.
Especially if he came walking out with Triple H. Because after what happened at Saturday Night Main Event.
True.
But anyway, it is 11:30.
Yes, sir.
I'm thinking about going live tomorrow with the box. I just don't know of a good time. If you'd want to join or not. I don't know if you're busy on Thursday nights, but
I don't know. We have the kids coming in this weekend, so I don't know if we have stuff that we have to do some preparing or cleaning, tidying up and stuff. But yeah, let me know if I can. I will.
all right, I'll hit you up on text and let you know.
I do, let Dom know, see what's happening.
because
I would say, if it's not this week, then I wouldn't be able to, I won't be able to do anything over the weekend if you were going to
right.
do there.
No, I can get it tomorrow. However, I did talk to Brandon, and he actually is taking my spot, so that's all good with me. So it'll be you, him, and Donnie.
Oh, good.
Good little difference there. So,
damn it, man! Now I get no Dodgers. Damn it.
But I don't know if anybody's watching. I'll be on here probably. I don't know. Just keep an eye out. Let's just say that.
Keep on. So subscribe to the channel. Turn that bell on.
That's right.
Find out when Johnny's going to drop. When he's
And
going to
make
go
sure
live.
you subscribe to this guy too if you're not already.
Yeah, I try.
So,
thanks a lot, buddy.
Yeah. Thank
Have
you,
a
everybody,
great
for showing
one.
up. Have a great one. I will text you, brother, and let you know.
You got it, man. Thanks.
All right. Yep. Have a good one, bro.
Yep. Later.
Here.
You can go. There's an outro.
I'm just waiting for it to stop live. I'm still live over here.